Hi everyone, in this tutorial I'm gonna show you how to define new stitches in CrochetPARADE, or how to modify pre-existing stitches in CrochetPARADE. Some stitches are already built in. There is a chain, single crochet, skips. They're not really stitches, of course. We also have half double crochets, and trebles predefined already. Now, what are the different stitches included? I'm just going to show you a snippet of the code. If you go, this is the website where the development of the code is happening. Again, it's open source, so the development is open to the public. You can open that website if you click on Ask a Question or File a Bug Report. The development is hosted on Codeberg. So you click on Parse JS, that's the code. So this is the predefined dictionary. These are the stitches that are available here. So let's see what we have. We have slip stitch, we have single crochet, half double crochet, back post, double crochet, front post, double crochet, treble, double treble, triple treble, a bunch of bubbles, double crochet bubbles, one triple crochet bubble, and then we have a bunch of popcorns and a picot stitch. And of course we have a starting ring, which is especially useful if you're crocheting in the rounds. Okay, well, what if you want to include your own stitch? Well, you can use the definition keyword. So DEF capitalized colon implies that what's following is a definition. So well, if you open the manual, it tells you, let me open the manual here. You can access the manual by clicking Help and then Manual. And you can search for defining new stitches. Again, new stitches are defined using the definition keyword, which should be placed alone on a new line. Alright, so let's create an alias. So here is the example. You can create an alias. So for example, 3 chains and a slip stitch on the same line, 4 stitches back, meaning at the base of these 3 chains, because this is 1 stitch, there are 3 more, so 4 stitches back means whatever precedes this guy. That defines a picot stitch. Okay, I'm using here an attachment head number 5, which is arbitrary. We can talk about attachments we will talk about attachments in a different video. So if you're going to be using picot over and over again, that's a fast way to define it. And this is just an alias, meaning it will be used by just a simple replacement. So where do we have picot stitches? Well, we have picot stitches right here. You can see them. Let me hide the information box. Whoops, what did I do? Okay, so this is a picot right there. And in the code, I already defined it. I'm sorry, I pressed on something. There you go. I predefined it right here. Okay, so I used an alias. A P will stand for 3 chains and a slip stitch in the stitch before the 3 chains. Okay. Let's see. Another place where I used a lot of aliasing is in the filet crochet for the logo, which you can see here for the website. So here I defined an O to stand for 2 chains, 2 skips, and then skip 2 stitches and then do a double crochet. An X, meaning this is an open square in the filet crochet. An X means change the color to, well, in this case, light coral, which is what you see in the logo here. This will stand for the filled-in squares in the filet crochet. Then do 3 double crochets, and then switch the color back to linen, which is the background here where the holes are. And if you have a transition OX, just this ox stands for an alias, which is an open square and a closed square in the filet crochet, but this time I'm making sure that the open square, which ends in DC, that DC is colored in light color coral, the DC which precedes the 3 double crochets of the X here. So there it is. And again, the code, what it does is it takes all the X's that you see here and replaces them So any X that you see here, it replaces it with the definition here. Change the color, do 3 double crochets, change the color back again. Same for the O, same for the OX. And here is a little bit of a weird one. Just an underscore stands for 3 chains. So I did 54 of these underscores. So 54 times 3 chains is what we have here. And then we do another 3 chains and we proceed with a chain. This helps with counting. I just know that there are 54 symbols here in the row, and every symbol is 3 chains wide. And these 3 chains are a turning chain. This is a starting chain. So anyway, this is how aliasing works. You can copy a stitch. So as it says here, let's say you want to use a reverse crochet stitch, which it's not predefined. It's not in the default dictionary. So let's do that. I want to do, let's say, 9 chains, and I want to turn the project, skip 1, and then do 8 single crochets. I'm going to click Shift Enter. Bam, here it is. Then I want to turn, and I want to do a new row with 8 reverse single crochets. Well, it says stitch type not defined in dictionary. Please add it. So let's add it. I'm going to define a reverse single crochet to be the same as a single crochet, because it's, in terms of geometry, how wide and how tall it is, it's practically the same as a single crochet. So now the code doesn't complain, and it generates the pattern. Let's zoom in and see what type of information we have. So this is the starting chain, and in fact I'm gonna just start from the beginning. This is the starting 9 chains. This is the turning chain, and then we have the single crochets. I just want to highlight, it says single crochet here, we're doing 8 of them. And then we're doing a oh, I forgot the turning chain. Oh, never mind. And then the next stitch is a reverse single crochet. As you can see, this definition, yes, it's a copy of the single crochet stitch, but RSC shows up in the type of stitch here. So that's helpful, because if you're following these instructions, it's helpful to know that it is a reverse single crochet that will end up right here. And you can see these stitches are indistinguishable from single crochet stitches. They're just different by name. Because again, CrochetPARADE cares only about the geometry and the sizes of these, the lengths of these edges. It doesn't give you information on what the stitch exactly looks like. It doesn't know about the intricate shape of the stitch, which gives you the beautiful patterns that you get with crocheting. Okay, so again, this is how you copy a stitch. Now, what if you decided, well, my reverse single crochets, if I do a swatch with them, are actually slightly, let's say, slightly taller than a single crochet. Well, a single crochet is defined with a height of 1. This is the red line here. This is how far a single crochet stitch is from the stitch it's attached to, and a width of 1, which is the same width as a chain. Okay, so how do you change the geometry of the reverse single crochet? Well, this is how you might do it. You might enter the height here and the width here. These are optional arguments to the copy keyword, to the copy function. So the height, let's say I want to increase it to 1.1. So increase it by 10%. You won't see much of a difference. Let's increase it. This is just to amplify the effect. Let's make a reverse single crochet 3 times taller than a single crochet. And now you see what happens. Yep, it is 3 times taller. And maybe I want to make it a little bit less wide. Maybe I want to make it half as wide. And suddenly these stitches are all combined into one, are all brought closer together. So that's how you can copy a stitch and change its basic parameters. Now for chains, let's say you want to do a new set of chains here that are wider. So I'm going to define a wide chain, meaning you'll be making the chains with a very little tension in the yarn. I'll just copy the chain. Okay, now again, the first parameter is supposed to be the height. chains don't have heights, they only have widths because chains are not attached to anything. So here you can type in anything, let's say 1. And if I leave it as 1, then we have a single chain here, which is called white chain, but it's not any different than any of the other chains. Now, if you're doing granny squares, for example, sometimes you want your chains to be a little bit looser or a little bit tighter. So here, let's say you define a wider chain, which is, well, quite a bit loose, 50% looser. Okay, and let's see what that looks like. So now you see, this is a normal chain here. This is a wider chain here. This is when you made the yarn a little bit looser. You can do it 5 times looser if you want, and there it is, just to exaggerate the effect. All right, so again, this is how you copy stitches. What's this? Oh, never mind. This is how you copy stitches with modifications. I'm sorry. All right, moving on. What if you want to create a completely new stitch? So then you might need a completely new stitch which has nothing to do in terms of topology, how different nodes or parts of the stitch are connected with each other. It has nothing to do with any of the pre-existing stitches. Well, you might want to include something called a row stitch definition. So this is a completely separate component of the CrochetPARADE language. It allows you to define completely new stitches with arbitrary number of intermediate nodes or stitches in between. And there is a particular way you define those stitches. I will show you how to do that in a separate video. The last thing I want to say here, again, CrochetPARADE doesn't give you detailed information about the structure of a single stitch, a single attachment point here. So let's say if this single crochet was attached to, or let's say we want to attach a, let's say we want to attach a double crochet here behind the post of the single crochet stitch. So let me do that. Okay, so this is double crochet. Let's do that behind the post. Now, again, this line won't connect behind the post in the same way. You won't see the texture here. You can't really see it. But something you know from experience is the following. When you attach a double crochet behind the post, the double crochet is suddenly a little bit less tall than average. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a definition for a double crochet behind the post. And yes, it's predefined already. And I closed it, but anyway, it is there in the dictionary, but and I believe it's called BPDC. So I'm going to copy the double crochet stitch. I'm going to just make it less tall, let's say 1.3 units tall, and the width you actually don't need to specify, it's an optional argument. So after this double crochet here, I'm going to do a double crochet behind the post, and then another double crochet. And you can see the double crochet behind the post is a little bit shorter, but again, this is the best this code can do. Of course, you can make it more complicated by attaching it here somewhere, but that would be at the expense of more computational time. Now, can you add a comment that this BP stands for behind the post? Well, you can always spell it out in the definition. Okay, or if you don't want to do that, you can always add a comment. You can say comments are added after, you can add them after this symbol, the hashtag symbol. So this is a comment. So you can say, okay, well, BPDC stands for double crochet behind the post. Now, everything after a hashtag is treated as a comment. So if you want to add it just here, you need to use 2 backslashes. Back post double crochet. So this is treated as a comment as well. So yeah, this is a way to work around certain limitations of the code. All right, take care, everybody.